Morning, friends. Happy Friday. I'm so glad to be here with you again for some coffee talk for creatives. It doesn't even have to be for creative people. I think our talks apply to a wide genre of people, but the coffee talk for creatives just kind of has a catchy little tune to it. Good morning. I would love to know where you guys are tuning in from this morning. Listen, I'm out on my back deck because Mr. Magic is taking a conference call in the house, and apparently I'm loud. Apparently, his co-workers before have heard me on Facebook Live and made the comment, gosh, your wife is loud. So as not to disturb them, I'm out on my deck. Now listen, it is a glorious 60 some degrees in Kansas City or something along those lines. Maybe it's 50-ish. My spidey senses are saying we're nearing 60, okay? It's glorious, but I'm in a winter coat. I'm drinking my coffee because fall is here and it's amazing, and I'm trying to even usher it in a little bit quicker with the coat. And I really do, when I'm not having hot flashes, I tend to run cold, and so I'm always cold. Anybody else? Anybody else? Good morning in Canada. Good morning in Washington. Washington, how are you guys faring up there? Hey, Nikki Fuelling. Girlfriend, it's been a long time. I hope the air there in Washington is clearing some. Beth, I hope you're safe in Florida. I posted a picture of my brother and their new baby who was born the day before yesterday on Facebook last night, and they're being evacuated from South Carolina Saturday. So poor little pumpkin pie just got born and now has to leave already. And both of my brothers are first responders, so I'm thinking about them, thinking about all of you who are in Florida, and we're praying for you and Irma. So listen, we're going to talk today just about downplaying your gifting and why this will get my goat like nothing else. It's funny, sometimes you know what your gifting is in life and what you're to do by the things that really piss you off. Anybody? And this is one thing that I'm telling you, it makes me go sideways. And maybe you can relate, maybe you cannot. If you cannot relate, but you know someone this applies to, I want you to share it to them. I want you to tag them. I want you to make sure that they get this, because somebody today needs to hear this, okay? Good morning in Texas. Good morning in North Carolina. So here's what irritates me and gets under my skin like nothing else. When I hear precious, creative, talented women say things like, I'm just a painter, I'm just a crafter, I'm just a DIYer, I'm just a furniture painter, I'm just a mom, what else? Let's go in line here. I'm just a whatever. I'm going to tell you kind of how I decided to talk on this topic this morning. I was emailing back and forth with a precious, so creative furniture painter who's going to be in my Paint Finish of the Month group that you will be hearing about in your email in the next weekish. So stay tuned, okay? It's basically a group that I've had for 2 years almost that I'm relaunching, and we're going to teach you 2 paint finishes every month with guest instructors. It's going to rock. So anyhow, one of my first guest instructors and I were emailing back and forth, and she's doing a teaching gig coming up, and she was saying she's nervous, and I was saying, you know what, I get nervous on those things too. I have 2 full days of speaking plus a speaking event in Alabama coming up in the fall at the Booth Conference. And so I was telling her, you know what, I get nervous too, but here's how you stop the nerves. You stop the nerves when you remember that what you're doing has very little to do with you and everything to do with the people around you and everything for them. When I start thinking about, okay, crap, I got to go on Facebook Live. What am I going to talk about? What if I'm an idiot? What if I sound stupid? What if Stella poops on the deck right next to me? Those sorts of things. When I start going down that crazy trail, I will work myself into a tizzy, have nervous diarrhea, and want to suck my thumb in a corner and die. Okay? So instead, when I'm getting ready to come here on a Facebook Live, or I'm getting ready to go speak, or I'm holding my own conference in Kansas City in October for women in my inner circle group, I think instead that what I have, what I know, you guys might need. One of you might need. And what I would encourage you guys to say, hey, Marcia, thank you for sharing this video. You're my favorite this morning. For those of you who are just a crafter, just a painter, just a DIYer, or something like that, listen, you are playing and thinking and talking so small. And I'm going to try to not get overly uber passionate right now. But you are thinking way too small. You are not just crafting. You are not just painting. Okay? First of all, God gave you those gifts. He fully expects you to use them. If you don't, I think he'll often pass and go to the next one. And who is going to step up and fully walk in their gifting? Who is going to fully own the fact that I made you a creative person, could have made you an astronaut, could have made you a dentist. Instead, I made you with the ability to make something beautiful out of nothing. I fully expect you to use it. Okay? And so I am completely convinced that that's his thinking. I could be wrong. It's not like I have a bat line straight up to heaven and can ask him. I wish I could. But I believe that the enemy wants you to continue to think small, talk small, act small, behave small because of this. Listen, when you quit with the I'm just a nonsense and fully start walking into the, you know what? I stinking make some stuff and I'm good at it. I'm not talking about me, I'm talking about you. Or I just decorated that whole room and my gosh, that looks freaking amazing. Or I just painted this piece of furniture and it rocks and it's about to sell. When you start doing that sort of thing, you're putting other stuff out into the world, out into the atmosphere. You're basically staking your place of what your gifting is. And here's what happens. Things start to grow. Things start to snowball. Things start to change. They start to shift slightly. People are going to want to know what you're doing. Your business is going to grow a little bit. And a lot of you are going to freak. Tara Sue, God bless you for sharing this. Okay? It's very common when I'm coaching these creative women to see the freak out process happen. And here's what I would say to you. The freak out process is normal because all of a sudden you're worried. Can I live up to what I say I can do? Can I do it consistently? Is it going to still be received well? What are people going to think of me, etc.? All right. There again, you're making it all about you. What you need to understand is when you are hitting that thing right there where you start the little freak out session because suddenly your Facebook page is growing. Suddenly you're being asked to teach classes somewhere. Suddenly somebody's wanting to feature you on a podcast. Suddenly somebody's asking you if they can share one of the articles you wrote for your blog on a bigger page. When those sorts of things happen, your platform will expand. And here's what happens when your business expands and when your platform expands, and this is why the enemy gets pissed. Because then you're no longer affecting your four and no more, your immediate family, the people who are in your household. Then when your business has started to grow a little bit, then you can start hiring other people. You can start teaching other people. You can start, oh, Tamara, I'm so glad you joined my coaching group. Thank you. You can start affecting the lives of other people, and that pisses the enemy off like nothing else. Because you think that you being a crafter is just a craft. No, baby girl. That crafting thing you're doing is just the catalyst. Your craft is just your catalyst often for the next thing God has you for. If he had told me 17 years ago when I started my painting company that I would, speak on Facebook Lives in front of thousands of people, that I'd get to fly down to Hobby Lobby and do videos for them, that I would have a podcast, but by the way, guess who's going to be on my podcast? Jon Acuff. If he had told me that 17 years ago, literally I would have had IBS and I would have crawled in a corner and died and thought there is no chance. Okay, there's no chance. Instead, what God does is he shifts you slightly so you can handle it. None of us are equipped to see the end result, friends. He takes us in little tiny chunks. Will she be obedient? Okay. 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 Okay, and that's how you get from crafting to destiny. That's how you get from, I know, Brandon. I'm coming out with all the jokes about duty today. And so I think it's important for you to understand that what you're doing affects other people. When you continue to play small, downplay your gifts, keep your business kind of hush hush, when people in your family don't even know what you're doing, when you have a Facebook page and you haven't even told people, when you continue to downplay your gifts, it's affecting all those people who you don't even know yet, who you're supposed to be impacting to help them walk into their destiny. That's the kind of stuff I think about. If I don't come on here and encourage some of you guys this morning, and it has nothing to do with me, okay? Hear my heart. This has nothing to do with me. But some of you need a swift kick in the booty because you've got a job to do, and you do it. So I'm here to kick you in the booty. You have a job to do, which is to go walk fully in your gifting, to quit playing small, to quit downplaying your business, to quit downplaying your gifts, to quit pretending you're not as powerful and strong as you are, because you have people in your world that you need to hire. And those people may really need the finances. There may be some sweet, precious woman who's in an abusive marriage that all she needs is somebody to give her a shot at working 20 hours a week painting furniture, and she will get the confidence and the cash to get out of that thing. That's what you're messing with. You are not just a crafter, and this pisses me off till the day is long. I'm telling you, I could talk about this all the time. Thank you, Red Lotus. I'm sorry I'm passionate. Actually, I'm not sorry I'm passionate. So every time that you're like trying to downplay what you do, trying to downplay your business, you're trying to kind of keep it under a little, what was that hymn like from when we were little, keep it under a bucket or something like that. When you're trying to do that intentionally or unintentionally, you're affecting people you don't even know yet, who need you to walk in your gift so that they have the courage to walk in theirs eventually. That's what you're doing. That's what you're messing with. I love you. You can be such a blessing to other people. I have hired so many faux painters over the course of owning my business for 17 years. Many of them broke off and went out on their own. God bless you. God bless you. Many of them got the courage to do their own thing. God bless you. That's what they were supposed to do. They weren't supposed to stay working for me forever. Okay? I have, almost 500 women in my coaching group right now that I coach every month. And what I'm coaching them to do is not to be mini-me's and do it like I do. I'm coaching them to take the gifts that God gave them and to absolutely use it to the very best of their ability, because when they walk fully in their giftings, not walking in mine and me not trying to walk in theirs, but when they walk in their giftings, they have this ripple effect on all of the people in their world. And that's needed, you guys. It's needed. We are not just painters, just DIYers, just crafters. Think of how ugly this world would be if there were not people who didn't know how to design some stuff, how to create some stuff, how to make some stuff. Sorry, I'm dropping things. Forever and ever, I will say, God could have made you a plumber. He could have made you a dentist. He could have made you an astronaut, and he made you creative. Stink and walk in it. Quit playing small. You have people depending on you who have not even come into your world yet. Yes, this little mite of mine. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, let's get to some questions. What color are my nickel and suede earrings? Gosh, I don't know. They're like almost black, but thank you for recognizing. And I did buy the champagne ones because they were doing like proceeds for Hurricane Harvey. And so it was my duty as a consumer to buy 2 pairs. These, and I bought a pair of camouflage ones, and I sent a pair of camouflage ones down to Jen Hatmaker in Texas because I love her and she loves big earrings. Yes, Tammy, when you start looking at the bigger picture of what you're messing with, it is profound. It is profound. So when I'm nervous about going on a stage and I'm talking in front of people, here's how I fix that. I quit thinking about me. Who cares that I have diarrhea? Who cares that I'm worried that my underwear line is about to show? Who cares that I haven't ate this morning and totally feel like I'm gonna puke? I have to quit thinking about all of that. What am I gonna say? What if my notes are in the wrong order? What if I look ridiculous? What if people, hate it? What if they boo me off stage? I can't think like that. Instead, I have to think, how can I best serve these people who are sitting in this room right now? What tools can I give them to make a difference in their world and their life and their family? Friends, there are women out there who have babies already taking a nap this morning, who can't make the light bill this month. You may be on here because I didn't plan to think about this. Yes, you can save this video forever, Vanessa. Actually, what you do is if you share the video, it will save it to your page and then you can always rewatch it. Thank you, Cindy Everett Manley, for sharing this video, and I hope you are safe, girlfriend. I know you're on the coast. Oh man, where was I headed with that? I was headed somewhere good. I can't even remember what I was talking about. Hang on, what was it about? Darn it. Oh, yes, thank you. There are women watching this video right now who can't make their light bill this month. And if they could paint a buffet for $400 and sell it on Facebook Marketplace, not even necessarily having to start a business page, not even necessarily having to start a big thing, but $400 a month would change their life right now. Some of you are supposed to be teaching women like that how to paint something. She's waiting on you to step up. She's already following your business page. She's already following you on Facebook. She's wondering, or she's probably not even wondering yet. But as soon as you dangle that carrot in front of her, she's on it. Which will, yes, put a little money in your bank account, but more importantly, give her the tools that she needs to make a difference, like a real difference in her life. It isn't always about 6 figures, you guys. Sometimes it's about making the stinking light bill. And I don't want to be responsible for people not making their light bill. Let me just say that. What can I help you guys with? You took what you learned from another company, Jamie says, and you grew your own business. Unfortunately, you get backlash from the company I worked for. Jamie, listen, when your business starts to grow, people aren't going to always rally around you and say, nice job, girlfriend. Woo! You go, Jamie. While I wish that was the case, there will be people that will try to shoot holes in that thing. They'll try to persuade you to stop. Enemy does not like growth. Remember that, okay? The enemy doesn't want you growing because growth means you affect way more than just your 4 and no more. Okay? And so it's unfortunate when there is backlash from people, companies, whatever. If it's stuff that you can just la and brush off and, you know, pull a little Taylor Swift and shake it off, do that. If it's more serious and you need to lawyer up, baby, you better lawyer up. Okay, honestly, there is no time and place for people being ugly, manipulative. What else? I can't even think of more words because I haven't had enough coffee and I'm in menopause, but you know what I'm saying. Thank you, Amy Pembroke, for sharing this. Lana says she's opening a paint studio in 2 weeks, regardless of the roadblocks you've hit in the last 2 years, because this is God's plan for you. I just know, Lana, I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. Now, can I give you, I'm not prophesying over you, but I am just going to give you just a little tip because I've been around the block for just a moment, okay? I've done this a long time. There are certain stores that can open up and everything's flowers and lilies and fairy dust and glitter and rainbows and unicorns, and that's amazing. And oh, Lord have mercy, thank you. There are also places that open up and the sewer pipes bust and the building doesn't meet code. And you open up your first class and not enough people sign up. And it will make you to start second guessing your decisions. And so what I say to you, Lana, is if that happens to you, I pray the first one happens, but if it happens to you, just know that that's part of the game, baby. I'm preparing you for it now so that you're not even surprised if you have a sewer pipe break. You're like, oh yeah, Jen told me there'd be days like this, and we keep going. We keep going. It's part of the game. How bad does she want it? It's part of that game. Hi, Regina. Hey, honey, are you safe where you're at? Did I see you're evacuating? I'm thinking about you. Oh, good. You brushed it off. You could honestly carry less. Yeah, Jamie, there comes a time in your life and your business where God's plan for you and what you are convinced is what you're supposed to be doing outweighs the opinions of people around you, or the opinions of people you do not even know, or the opinions of people that you know that you do not care about. Some of them are in your Facebook list. I'm going to tell you how to handle it. Unfriend, unfollow, unfriend, unfollow. Why are you friends with them anyway? One of the things I talk about in my coaching group is if you belong to Facebook groups that are free, paid, best thing since sliced bread, all the cool kids are doing it, but every time you're seeing posts in there, you've got a stomach ache, get the heck out. Get the heck out. I don't care if it's your industry or not. Get out. Ain't nobody got time for that nonsense. If your Facebook feed is full of discouraging, complaining, the glass is always half empty, in fact, the glass sucks. In fact, let's go ahead and just break the glass. Those type of people, unfollow and unfriend that stuff. Unfriend those people that you don't even know, who you feel that subtle vibe of condemnation or that subtle vibe of judgment. Baby, you don't need that. It's hard enough just living. It's hard enough being a business owner. Ain't nobody got time for that crap. Hey, thanks, Paula. Appreciate you. Carol, my brother and his wife and their son and brand new baby are in South Carolina. Baby and mama are evacuating Saturday. My parents are there, my mom and my stepdad right now, for the birth of the baby, but they are probably hightailing it back to Kansas City as soon as today because things are getting a little wonky. And by wonky, I mean gas stations running out of gas, highways being backed up, etc. Corey says, when do you know you need to hire someone you're not sure you're making enough? Okay, Corey, so when you say, how do I know if it's time to hire someone? It's usually already time to hire someone. It's a gut instinct. The same gut instinct. If you're a painter, Corey, let me tell you something. When you go to a garage sale and you see a gorgeous buffet sitting way off over there in the corner, and you're like, dang, I could do something with that. I'm gonna buy me that. That same gut instinct you have there where you're like, that sucker's gonna look amazing if I paint it black and do some little highlights of some gold on it and put a little liner on the drawers. That same gut instinct is the same gut instinct that you have in terms of hiring. And it's the same like little nudge that you need to listen to. Usually when people ask me if they need to hire someone, they're already past that. The next question is what I really want to address though, when you say you're not making enough. Here's the key about hiring people. When you hire somebody in your business, they should be doing enough for you that they are freeing up hours. And in those hours, Corey, you're not going to go sit upstairs and watch The Young and the Restless and eat bonbons. Instead, you're going to work in your zone of genius in your business. You're going to kick butt for those few hours and do the things in your business that only Corey can do that are going to take her business from where it is to where it should be or where she wants it to go. So that's the key. When you're hiring somebody, it should be freeing up hours for you to do the things that are going to put more money in your bank account. It'd be nice if we could just hire people and take a nap, but it doesn't really work like that. Becky Dixon, thank you for sharing this. Bless you. Let's see. Find your tribe, love them hard. Amen, Tracy. You're so welcome, Angie. Lisa, I don't know about wise, girl, but I'm praying and I'm trying. Yes, Tammy Hodges, you got to get rid of the toxicity. I am convinced. Okay. My friend Kari Caldwell from Kari Caldwell Studios, her and I were messaging back and forth yesterday, and Kari has had a recent physical transformation. Girlfriend looks good. Girlfriend looks good. Go check out her page. I mean, she's 52-ish, I think, and rocking a bikini, and I've got ab envy. So Kari looks amazing, and her and I were talking about some business stuff yesterday, and so I know that she believes, which I do too, even without those abs, that 80% of your abs are made in the kitchen. Who believes that? 80% of your abs are made in the kitchen. 20% is out exercising, doing cardio, which I will be running today because the weather is glorious. Okay, 80% of your business, done right there. It's done right there. Done right there. And in order to keep this on point, you've got to get rid of that toxicity, just like Tammy said. You have to. You absolutely have to. Oh, Kari's 53, girlfriend. You're amazing. Carol. Hey, Carol, good to see you. You need to hire someone in the Denver area, someone who can paint, faux, and someone who's good with office work, spreadsheets. Okay, so those are probably going to be two totally different people. Usually, if they're good at the creative part, they're pretty sucky-ish at the office work and spreadsheets. So what I would do is do a now hiring thing, Carol, on your Facebook page. Grab a photo off of bigstock.com. You'll have to pay for it there, but grab a photo there and say what you're hiring for. Have people fill out a Google Doc and hire two totally different people. That would be my plan. When I was hiring an assistant to take care of paperwork, emails, all that stuff that makes me twitch and break out in hives, anybody that applied that said, I'm great at painting, I love being creative, cross them off the list. I didn't need a mini-me. When you're hiring somebody to do that sort of thing as a creative, you're normally needing to hire your exact opposite. Okay? Because things were a hot mess and continue to be in my business, and I run best that way, because I had gaps in my business. I had holes. I had places where I needed help that were in the areas that I'm not strong, which is like being kind, sending back emails, and finding, links for this and that, and orchestrating our meetup in Kansas City and all that jazz. That's the kind of stuff I hire people for. I just hired in the last couple of weeks, listen to this. Like, I feel so official. I hired a videographer for my Creators Roadmap course that relaunches in October. I hired an event planner for my 2-day event for people in my coaching group in Kansas City, which, by the way, you would have to join my coaching group today, and you would have to sign up for that tonight because midnight's the deadline for that. And then I hired a branding manager to pitch me to brands. I'm like, what? This is a thing? And I hired a community manager to help run my Facebook group for the paint finish of the month that you're going to all find out about in your email next week. And so I'm like feeling official. And you know what makes me happy? Knowing that my business, my little business, has an effect on those 4 families. And then when those 4 families are making more, they're going to need more help. And then those 4 families, they hire more people. And then it's just a huge deal. It's just 6 degrees of separation from Kevin Bacon. So, oh yes, Ellen, virtual assistant. I love to outsource. I started my painting business 17 years ago, got pregnant with Noah 3 months in. And so by the time I was 8 months pregnant, I was the size of a Volkswagen, and I'm not lying. I gained 55 pounds in that pregnancy because I ate my way through 1 million boxes of Kraft macaroni and cheese. It just happens. Kraft macaroni and cheese happens, right? And so I called my sister-in-law. I'm like, girlfriend, my belly's so big. You've got to help me. Will you help me? And she worked for me for 12 years. 12 years. I had that baby, and I looked at his precious face, and I knew that my job was at home, and yet my business was thriving the first year in. And I thought, how can I make this work? How can I stay home with him and not give up, the business, because I loved it. I happened to be good at it, and it was making great money for us. And so I just outsourced the heck out of my business from day one. From day one, babe. Your daughter is a news reporter in KC, Patty Snyder. Who is that? I want to know, Patty. Sandra, are you coming to my event in Kansas City? I believe you are. You're terrible. Oh, you rock at being an admin. Colette, thank God for admins. Thank God for admins. All right. Bless you guys. You're so awesome. Amy wants to know, how do you choose one thing to pursue? As a creative who's passionate about so many things, how do you pick just one and turn it into business? Okay, Amy Edgar. Amy Easton Edgar, because Easton is my son's name. I'm going to tell you something because I love you, okay? So here's what I know, coaching almost 500 women right now at a time. When people, let's say they're going to join my coaching group, and they send me an email, do you think it'll work for me? That's not really what they mean. When they say, do you think it'll work for me? What they really want to know is, can you help me? Will it be worth it for me to spend this money on your program every month, Jennifer? Will I get value back from that? Because it's important to me that I'm going to get value. That's what they mean. When people say to me, I don't have time to work on my business, what they really mean is, I know that my business should be a higher priority, but I just can't seem to get it to that level. I'm not in a pinch. I'm not in a hard place enough to make it a priority. When people say to me, and I love you, so I'm telling the truth, how do you choose one thing to pursue? What they really mean is, I'm still too nervous to start. I'm multi-passionate, so this is the easiest thing for me to say. And so, Amy Edgar, I love you enough to tell you that pick one thing. I don't care what it is, all right? Because what you have to do is start. The not picking is leaving you in this endless loop of things never changing. And it'll be 5 years from now in like a breath, and things will not have changed still. And it'll be, 10 years down the road, and you'll be wondering, why didn't I just pick a thing? I don't know what to pick, and now I don't know. Okay, pick something. Here's how you pick. What are you freakishly good at? What do your friends text you about? What do they want to buy from you, have you make for them? What are they constantly asking you about? And can that thing make money? One of the ways you know if that thing can make money is go to Pinterest and do a search for it. If you think your thing is weird, special, whatever, go to Pinterest. Are other people doing it? Is it popular there? If so, you can do it too then. But you got to choose one thing and you got to start. One of the other things that I talk a lot about in my coaching group is not pinning yourself into one thing, however. So, Amy Edgar, if let's say you're a sign maker, I wouldn't do Amy Edgar's signs. And the reason I wouldn't do that is because you think you like signs today, but in 3 years you're going to be like, I have to make another sign, I'm going to vomit. So don't pigeonhole yourself with a business name and a business that can't grow, expand, what have you. Because as a creative person, God did not design you to only like one thing. When he made you creative, it wasn't only in the area of cooking. Okay? More than likely, you can cook a little, sew a little, craft a little, paint a little. You've got a lot of things, okay? I hate that saying, a jack of all trades and a master of none, although there is a little bit of truth to it. And so you are not meant to pick one thing. So start your business, start your brand, and the truth is you can do whatever you want. I don't know who lies to people and tells them they have to pick one thing. You don't have to pick anything. Now, if you want to be a whale watcher and a carpenter and a cupcake maker at the same time, this could be difficult. But you don't have to pick just one thing. That's a lie somebody told you. Chrissy, thank you. I do all of my hair stuff on Instagram, and I didn't do it yesterday because I really wasn't happy with the product that I'm testing, but thank you. Cindy, you're a lost ball in tall weeds. Oh, Cindy, you're not a lost ball, girlfriend. You are passionate. There are things, Cindy Manley, you are so stinking passionate about. I'm your Facebook friend personally, and I see that passion that you have for things like politics, for things like people, for things like righteousness, and so I know those passionate feelings you've got about things that you make and create also. I hope you can find it again. Chantel, when are you starting your paint finish of the month? I am starting that. I'm a little nervous about it, to be real honest with you. Why am I doing weird schoolgirl things like this? I don't know. Okay, sit up like a big girl. Eat my medicine here. Okay, I have had my paint finish of the month group, total transparency, for almost 2 years. It will be 2 years in January. And I felt a little bit overwhelmed with how quickly my business has grown in the last 2 years. And my passion has very much changed from painting to supporting, teaching, encouraging, helping women in their business. I'm sure you guys have seen that shift. I'm sure you've seen the shift. I'm going to tell you more about the shift in probably the next week or so. And so as I've shifted, it was harder and harder for me to come up with new paint finishes every month to put in my paint finish of the month group, because they join for $27 a month and they get a new paint finish from me every month, and then they can ask me any questions about paint all month long. So I've watched it go from a good group to fewer people, because my heart wasn't in it. Because my heart is connection and my heart is women, and I love pretty things, but every month I would sit down and go, crap, I got to come up with a new paint finish, and I could care less. I could care less about coming up with a brand new paint finish at the moment. Does that make sense? And so I was at a training class in Toronto a couple months ago, and this saying, this one line blew me away. Somebody's going to want to grab a pen and they're going to want to write this down. And the saying was, you don't have to be Beyonce if you can be Beyonce's manager. And I was like, what? You don't have to be Beyonce if you can be Beyonce's manager. This is what they meant. I don't have to be the one teaching everybody to paint in the group. My secret sauce, one of my secret powers is I know a lot of people. I know 1 million talented painters. Most of them are in my coaching group. Instead of me teaching everybody how to paint every month, I'll just build a community where these rock star painters who love this and this is their jam can teach you guys how to paint every month. And suddenly there was new wind breathed into my paint finish of the month group. And so it launches 2 weeks from yesterday. 2 weeks from yesterday. And you will have 2 guest instructors in there every month teaching you 2 paint finishes, and you'll have access to all 20 of my paint finishes for free. Yeah, Tracy, right? And so I'm super excited about it. It's a lot of work. I've hired a community manager to take care of a lot of the administrative pieces. Something like this, you don't just get to throw together. It takes months of planning. Paige, how do you get you to come speak in St. Louis? Email us at info@themagicbrushinc.com. My assistant is off until Wednesday. Lord have mercy, you guys. And my virtual assistant has been evacuated from Florida. And so I've got 2 assistants off right now. And I'm like, So it's all good. Oh, the iPhone started buffering? Yes, I'll say it again for you, Tracy Graves. You don't have to be Beyonce if you can be Beyonce's manager. Meaning you don't have to be the superstar. Just manage superstars. And I can manage some painting superstars. I'm stoked. So yeah, Paige, send us an email there. Chantel, you can't sign up yet. But if you're on my email list, you'll be the first that gets to sign up. And in the first 5 days, if you sign up, you get to sign up at a discount. So are you on my email list? What are my favorite personal development books? Okay. Required reading for women in my inner circle group. Like, I don't require it, but I tell them, you crazy if you're not, is Crash the Chatterbox. Present Over Perfect by Shauna Nyquist. Most of the books I love are not business related. Let's see. Jab, 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 Right Hook by Gary Vaynerchuk. Ignore the F-bombs. Just full disclosure there. Don't listen to it on Audible with your toddler in the room unless you want them dropping some F-bombs. They'll be very motivated, but they'll be cussing as well. What else? Essentialism. Rework. Trying to think of what's on my Audible list right now. The Chip and Joanna book, which I will be talking to you guys about Chip's new book in the next couple of weeks. I'm helping to promote that. But Chip and Joanna's, the Magnolia book, phenomenal. Phenomenal. I bawled. Phenomenal. Their story is incredible. I mean, from broke to where they're at, baby. Crazy. Yeah, Tracy, it's mostly geared towards furniture painting. Yeah, so... Hey, thanks, Mandy. Appreciate you. Peggy, to get on my email list, just go over to themagicbrushinc.com, and there'll be a place at the top where you can put in your email. Also, if you haven't been to my website today, did you see Mr. Magic's loft bed that he made for Ava Grace? I mean, come on now. Come on, friends. He did so good. I should marry that man. Yeah, Pamela, the ladies in my coaching group are asking me for my favorite books list as well. And so I need to put that together. So, all right, guys, bless you. I've got some work to do before I take off Friday afternoon, which has become a habit. I'm going for a run, a massage, and cocktails with my hubby later on, in that order. So, bless you. Let's see. You love the chat about the shift. There's always a shift, Brannon. God will never leave you in one place for too long enough to get complacent, long enough to get overly comfortable. There's always shifts. The majority of the time, it's just whether or not we're willing to be shifted. Shifting's painful. Shifting hurts. Shifting feels like you're a fish out of water. Shifting is completely out of your comfort zone, but it's also necessary, especially when you keep in mind that you are not just a crafter, you're not just a painter, you're not just a DIYer. You have people depending on you fully stepping into your creativeness because they need you to, so that they can watch that, so that they can see your business grow, so they can come alongside you, so that you can hire them. There's a million reasons. Go back and listen to the beginning. You're gonna get my voice all up again. My voice gets really, really high when I get all excited. So, bless you in Chattanooga. Thank you, guys. The bed does look amazing, Jennifer. Thank you. Okay, Natalie says she just had a light bulb moment. Yes, baby. I love light bulb moments. It's like, like, why didn't I think of that? Why didn't I see that? So, bless you guys. You're amazing. I will be painting on here. I said last night I was going to. Truth is, a roller skating party happened. For the love. Every freaking month, I forget. Roller skating party, first Thursday night of the month. So I had to take my daughter roller skating party. So I will be painting some lawn furniture here on my deck tonight on Facebook Live. I will see you then. All right. Bless you guys.